Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest today is Roy Murnigan. Where are you going? Roy, thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. We really appreciate it and hope you're having a great day. Alright, so yesterday the house guests were waiting around for the veto competition. It seems like they keep getting later and later in the day. But Kevin was talking to himself / the feedsters in the storage room. Are y'all ready for this? No, for real though. Kevin said that he wants to win this veto, not to not use it. He wants to win this veto and use it on Ika because he doesn't want to give her the chance to sacrifice herself for Demetres. And he thinks that it would be hilarious if Ika tried to refuse this veto, and it'd be such great TV, it'd be so funny. So he would take Ika down, put up Dillon in her place, because he doesn't want to put up Karen and have Dillon be the one controlling this, because he's too flip-floppy and he's afraid that he would vote out Karen just because. So guess what? He's thinking Karen is going to vote out Demetres, Ika will vote out Dillon, and then Kevin Martin will break the tie. He doesn't realize that Karen is best buds with Demika now. Open your eyes, man. Who's she been hanging out with for the past few days nonstop? But anyway, she has told Demika multiple times that if they miraculously end up in a situation with Dillon up on the block with one of them, she's going to vote out Dillon. So Kevin also says there's pretty much no way that he's going to take Dillon to the final two. If he was in the final three with Dillon and Karen, he's taking Karen, even though he would rather give the money to Dillon. He wants to guarantee that win. And last but not least, he's also hoping that the power veto won't be the type of challenge where they're allowed to work together. Like last season at this time. Remember when Joel, everyone was pissed at him because he, like, didn't help Tim? That was crazy. It was insane. So anyway, it was finally time for the power veto competition. And guess what? It was the one where you're allowed to help each other. So this one was a movie tie-in with the new movie Baywatch, and I think there was like sand all over the place, sand in people's butts everywhere. And it was a very physical challenge. I think they had to drag around these dummies, and I think once Ika realized she was not going to win this, she started helping Demetres. There was like a puzzle involved, and even with that help, Kevin just barely beat out Demetres and won the power veto. He also gets to watch the new Baywatch movie. They're going to have a special screening, and he got to pick at least one person to join him. I know Dillon will be joining him. I'm not sure if anyone else will. Alright. Oh my god, guys. This is crazy. So, Dillon and Kevin are in the kitchen, and Dillon's like, so Karen was asking me that, you know, are we going to vote how Demika want us to vote? And he's like, no. He doesn't want to do that because he's saying no, Demetres has to go. He's agreeing with Kevin. So he's trying to make Karen look crazy, which I mean, like, she kind of is, but still. Dillon's saying it's a no-brainer. We got to get rid of Demetres. And he says, Kevin, if I go to the end with you and I lose, whatever. Okay, so then Kevin is back in the storage room with himself. He now has the veto. And he's like, again, there's no way that he's going to leave this vote up to Dillon and Karen. He is still planning on using the veto on Ika. He wants to force a tie and vote out Demetres himself. He says that he's not going to tell anybody about this plan before the ceremony. He just wants to surprise everybody. I can't take it. Later, Kevin is back in the storage room by himself. He's freaking laughing about Dillon and Karen talking about their votes this week. He's like, you probably won't even have a vote, Dillon, because you'll be up on the block. I can't take it. It's almost too much. If this actually happens, this will be almost on the same level as, like, when JP went up on the block as a pawn, and then Zach did not use a veto on him, and then he went home and Godfrey was all, woo, eat your sandwich. It's on that level. Okay. So, meanwhile, we've got Ika and Demetres all sad in the pink room. They're really bummed because neither of them won the power veto. And they figure there's no way that one of them's going to get off the block with Kevin holding the power. So Ika is like, Demetres, you're going to be staying. You need to win the next HOH. And don't let Kevin win the next POV. They have no idea that sexy move that Kevin Martin is planning for this POV. They're already thinking ahead to next week. Okay, so then Karen was really emotional with Demetres again. She feels so bad. She wants them both to stay. She really wants to stick it to that Kevin Martin and get him out next. So then Karen's like, do you think that you could talk to Kevin and get him to put Dillon up? They say no. You keep your mouth shut. So then this morning, Ika and Karen were crying together. Ika was pretty much staying in her bed like all morning. She's saying basically everybody sucks. Karen agrees, but she says evil will not win in the end. It may look like it right now, but it will not win in the end. So then Karen again asked, do you think there's any chance that we could get Kevin to put up Dillon? And then we'll vote out Dillon. So she's still on board for that. Ika's like, no, I don't think so, and I don't want you to get yourself in trouble by trying to get that done. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure if they presented this plan to Kevin, it would totally scare him off and he would not use the veto. So they need to just not talk. Do not talk to Kevin Martin today. So then Ika tells Karen, you and Dillon really need to keep Demetres this week, you know, to take out Kevin next. But they're not sure if Dillon's going to follow through with this. Ow. Because he made a final 2 deal with Kevin and they're just not sure that they can trust him. He's the male Jackie now. So Karen is telling him, oh, she's planning on telling him that they're not playing Kevin Martin's game. Do not do this. Also, she wants to convince Dillon that he'll have a chance to beat Demetres in the final 2. Whereas if he goes with Kevin, it's 100% a loss for him. I don't know if he'd be able to beat Demetres. I don't think so. But she's going to try to push that. I think he would have a better chance of beating Demetres than Kevin. For sure. Alright, so then Karen and Ika are brainstorming some more. Ika finally made it out of her bed. She took a shower. Good job. And they try to brainstorm some more ideas, and they're like, maybe if Kevin knows that Demetres will stay, like if Karen and Dillon were both going to vote for Demetres to stay, that'll make Kevin want to get rid of Dillon. Because he wouldn't want to keep 2 strong guys, right? His goal here is to get rid of one of the strong guys. So if he knows that Demetres would stay, maybe he will use the veto and try and get Dillon out instead. Please don't talk to Kevin about this. Please don't talk to Kevin about this. Okay, eventually they do decide it's best for them to not say anything until after the power veto ceremony. Okay, but then Karen was putting in some work with Dillon, and again, she's pushing we need to keep Demetres to get rid of Kevin, and Dillon is finally deciding to speak his mind. He's like, that's not best for my game. Karen is like, she does not want to hear that shit. So he is saying that he needs Kevin and Demetres out. You know, he's saying Kevin is basically getting rid of Demetres for me this week, so that knocks down 1 domino in my way. I just need to get rid of Kevin after that. So Dillon is saying he's pretty confident that he can beat Kevin in the final 4 POV. So he's saying we don't need Demetres to do that. I can do that for us. Dillon then claims that he could have won yesterday's POV if he really wanted to. Okay. So then Karen is still saying we need to stick with the plan. We need to get rid of Kevin next. Dillon is like, I think this vendetta against Kevin is really ruining your game. You need to get off of that. Just, like, leave it. And she's like, no, I understand from your perspective that it is best to get rid of both of the strong guys. But for me, it's best to have the 2 big guys up against Kevin because she doesn't think she can beat him in the final competitions. All right. So then, Karen and Kevin were talking, and Karen is trying to push that Ika is going to be a huge threat with the jury. She's trying to say, like, I think we should keep Demetres. She even throws out there, what if I vote for Demetres to stay and Dillon votes for Ika to stay? What would happen then? So, okay, I was freaking out a little bit that Karen was talking to Kevin, but the way that this conversation is moving, it seems like this might make Kevin want to use the veto on Ika even more. Because he's seeing that if it is Ika and Demetres up on the block, Karen will still want to keep Demetres, and she could possibly convince Dillon of the same in the next few days, or to do the same in the next few days. But he thinks if he puts up Dillon, Karen won't vote him out. But she totally will! Oh my god. Okay, so it might be working. And guess what, guys? Usually they have the power veto ceremony on Mondays, but that freaking POV ceremony today popped up on the TV screen. Oh my god. much. Do you think this will actually happen and Kevin will use the veto on Ika? Because if it happens, I might just pee my pants and faint at the same time. It's too much excitement right now. I'm going to be so let down if it doesn't happen because this would just be so epic. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Sorry if you're a Kevin fan. It's not that I don't like Kevin. I'm just team fun feeds and I just want to see this season end with a bang. So let me know what you guys think in the comments and until tomorrow, much love.